Вітаю! Це друге відео проходження брами Балдура. Якщо не дивилися попереднє, посилання на плейлист в описі та на екрані. Якщо ж дивилися, можете запитати: але читачу, темна жага вбив Алфіру у попередній серії? Чи це значить, що челендж пацифіста провалений? Резонне зауваження, але саме через це я сформував правило, як персонажі, яких я контролюю, не можуть вбивати. Темну жагу я під час цієї трагічної події ніяк не контролював і не робив нічого, щоб посприяти цьому вбивству. Тому продовжуємо забіг. До речі, якщо є бажання поспілкуватися зі мною, запропонувати гру для відео або ще щось, можете знайти мене у Діскорді Кон'юнкція Сфер, нік той самий Тайретрідер. Та й просто долучайтеся, це ком'юніті, де зібрані поціновувачі таких шедеврів, як сама брама Балдура, Відьмак, Древні Сувої та інші. Ну, поїхали далі. Розпочати новий день темна жага вирішив з розмов зі своїми супутниками. Як це – бути дияволом?
It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck. Not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see?
Я бачу клинка фронтирів, не більше і не менше.
It's because you know the heart lurking under the horns. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the blade of frontiers again.
Тобі краще вийти з цієї угоди.
A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to.
Має бути якась лазівка у договорі, яка тебе визволить.
There could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads.
Ми здолаємо її, якщо об'єднаємо своїх робаків.
We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet. What's on your mind?
Мене цікавить твоя хвороба. Чому для неї потрібна магія?
Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone. An eruption the size of Waterdeep, I think my exact words were.
Мене зацікавив той могутній правитель, що ти згадував у своїй історії.
Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistral, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like to be a god, to know yourself to be untouchable, to be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more, an event that came to be known as Karsus's folly.
То на той час зникла вся магія?
For a spell. Mistral was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go.
Як ти ставишся до вампіра в таборі?
I know what it is to hunger. And I know what it takes to keep that hunger under control. He's done that so far, despite his condition. So long as he sates his appetite elsewhere, I'm happy to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Як ти вчиниш, якщо відчуєш, що нетерицька магія поглинає тебе?
If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
Мої спогади до наутилоїда покриті темрявою.
Memory loss isn't usually a symptom of xenomorphosis. If it is, they've forgotten to write it down in any text I've read on the subject. Then again, our case isn't exactly usual. Perhaps whatever's causing our tadpoles to remain in stasis has also affected your mind. If xenomorphosis takes place, all trace of your former self will be subsumed into the Mind Flayer's hive. So, to still be here, if a mite forgetful, still a win in my book.
У мене виникають жорстокі думки, зіпсовані думки. Я не можу їх позбутися.
We all have those from time to time. I once wished a most impure demise on a colleague of mine who bore the last remaining copy of Etheril's Enchiridion of Enchanting Easements. It's a first edition, too. As regards to your own morbid little fantasies, I'm sure they're nothing to worry about, so long as they remain fantasies. With haste.
І це після смерті Алфіри. Ну дякую, Гейле, підтримав.
You wish to speak?
Маю запитати, звідки тобі стільки відомо про паразита?
I studied one up close. Closer than most would care to be to those things. A drow attacked me and I defended myself. Afterwards, I was able to examine the tadpole that emerged. Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say.
Думаєш, у гаю справляться без тебе?
Hopefully. I've chosen a successor as first druid, Francesca of the High Forest. I sent a bird to summon her.
Як щодо інших, наприклад, Ред?
Wrath has promise, but he's not ready yet. The Grove needs experience and a strong hand. The Grove needs to move beyond the mistakes of the past. What it needs is an unknown quantity. An outsider who can enforce the Oakfather's teachings without bias. This is why I chose Francesca. She will restore simplicity and purity to the Grove in my absence.
Це не спричинить обурення?
Resentment will spring up like mushrooms no matter what I do. You cannot please everyone, and you'd be a fool to try.
Відмовитися від титулу нелегко. Не сумуватимеш за тим, що був першим друїдом?
Miss it? Oh dear no. It's a terrible burden. Takes you away from nature and forces you to deal with others' problems and personalities. Be wary of anyone who actually wants such a role, I say. Likely they don't understand it, or they have ill intent. I'm just glad to be out here amidst the Oakfather's creations.
Нащо тобі йти до місячних веж?
Those illithid creatures threaten the natural order. It's my duty to do what I can to stop them. There's also the Shadow Curse. It's an affront and must be cleansed. I helped overthrow Ketheric Thorm and his Dark Justiciars years ago, but I failed to prevent him from unleashing darkness across the region before he was defeated. If I can join you and get close to moonrise, perhaps I can lift this curse, just as you find a cure for your infection.
Ось чому ти пішов за Радіном? Ти думав, що він знайде цей шлях до місячних веж?
Precisely. Then perhaps I could have done something about both the shadow curse and Ceramorphosis aberrations. But in my eagerness, I put far too much faith in the abilities of Aradin and his band. We didn't even get close.
Тобі відомо, як зупинити прокляття тіней?
Perhaps. But we'll need to get closer before I can put my theory into practice. Put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, then there will be more to be said.
Схоже, ти певною мірою відчуваєш вину за прокляття тіней.
Well, there's hardly anyone left to share the responsibility with. Few who witnessed the fall of Moonrise still draw breath. What Ketheric Thorm unleashed is not something that nature can undo by itself. I must do what I can. I studied the Shadow Curse for years, but to truly understand it and stop it, I must reach its source.
Це прокляття тіней, яке ти згадував. Не можеш воно бути настільки поганим?
It's had the whole region around Moonrise Towers in a chokehold of darkness and despair for years now. Those who remained are shadow-cursed. If you don't die at their hands, then you become one of them. We have to get to Moonrise, but the less time we spend in its blighted surrounds, the better.
Як у тебе справи тут, у таборі?
Wonderfully. If I'm honest, the grove was too comfortable for my tastes. I felt removed from nature. I'll miss my books, but I can find all the wisdom they contain out here, firsthand.
Ти знайдеш іще багато книг. Вони мені постійно трапляються всюди.
Is that so? Well, nature does abhor waste. I will keep watch, thank you. I had a feeling time in your company would prove fruitful.
Speak.
Ті сни досі в моїй пам'яті. Гадаєш, та дивна постать повернеться?
It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still.
Ще більш значному? Хто або що це може бути?
A question that burns in my belly day and night. Elders and collectives abide by their own tenets. It would require a powerful creed to unite them. And now this voice, this creed, finds our own ears. If it reaches this plane, it may reach others.
Алфіра померла не від моєї руки, якою б там не була твоя думка.
I'll tell you what I think anyway. I won't miss Alfira, but I won't stand for chaos. Govern your hunger before it governs you.
What's on your mind?
Як у тебе в грудях з'явився такий апарат?
The year? Tenir. The place? Sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero? Karlach. A knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell.
На твою фахову думку, який найкращий спосіб убити диявола?
Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Ти згадувала про керівника, що віддав тебе за Ріель. Хто це був?
Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Oh, to feel so invincible again.
Що цей пекельний двигун з тобою робить?
Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close.
І як це було?
Agonizing. God's what I wouldn't give for a hug. A pat. Anything. You've never met anyone so desperate for a hug as this one right here. Pathetic perhaps, but true. It's my lot to bear, and I bear it badly. Oh well. Can't have it all, can you? Not today, at least.
I hear you did the deed. How was your little romp?
Не просто пустощі. Це було неймовірно.
You filthy devil! I'm shocked. I thought the two of you would just flop about like dying fish and then call it a night, but no! Shows me. But you're not here to gossip. What can I do for you?
Розкажи про себе.
What's to tell? I was sired by a vampire named Cazador. Everything before that is so long ago it's ancient history. And everything that came after, well, I'd rather not reflect on it.
Ти пам'ятаєш своє попереднє життя?
I was a magistrate, working to keep the peace in Baldur's Gate, imprisoning troublemakers, that kind of thing. I can't remember much, truth be told. Centuries of torment will do that to you.
Як тебе обернули?
I was attacked. A gang of vagrants, a tribe of wandering gur, took issue with a ruling I'd made. They beat me to death's door when Cazador appeared. He chased them off and offered to save me, to give me eternal life. Given that my choices were eternal life or bleed to death on the street, I took him up on the offer. It was only afterwards I realized just how long eternity could be.
Як, власне, стають вампірами?
It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free and a true vampire.
У теорії?
People think the biggest threat to a vampire is a cleric with a stake. It's not. The biggest threat to a vampire is another vampire. They're scheming, paranoid, power-hungry beasts. So why would any vampire give up control over a spawn to create a competitor? Trust me, it doesn't happen.
Як гадаєш, що нас чекає у місячних вежах?
Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers, if we can convince the right people to talk.
All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious.
Що ти думаєш про все те, що з нами сталося?
All that's happened. You have a talent for understatement, you know that? Specifics, please.
Що ти думаєш про події в друїдському гаю?
I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would have razed that whole place to nothing if it weren't for us. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problems to contend with.
Що ти робитимеш, якщо нам вдасться видалити пуголовків?
I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course.
Куди вирушиш?
Home. Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible.
Схоже, це особисте. Не буду розпитувати, якщо не хочеш розповідати.
Thank you. And you're right. It's a delicate matter. Not something for light conversation.
Як я тримаюсь, на твій погляд?
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
Тобі, мабуть, є що сказати про наші мандри?
Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith Crèche will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind.
Ти мені чогось не кажеш. Я маю певність.
I don't know what you mean.
Коли ми ввійшли до старого храму Селуне, ти відреагувала незвично.
It's nothing, really.
Була зроблена спроба переконання. Ми маємо бути відверті одне з одним. Що ти від мене приховуєш? Але, на жаль, темна жага не славиться харизматичністю.
What makes you think I'm hiding anything? If I've something to share, I'll let you know.
Вичерпавши всі валідні теми для діалогу, можна йти далі. Щоб отримати шматочок кори шептодерева, довелося побитися з гакожахами. Але з 5-м рівнем і додатковою атакою вони не становлять особливої загрози. А от що становить, то це бурля під землею, яка, здається, вирішила прорити в'єтконгівські тунелі у підмороку. Підійшовши до воронки, я засофтлочив усю команду. Дякую, Ларіани! З корою шептодерева темна жага повернувся до кузні покинутого селища.
The Susa bark infuses the weapon from within the flames. The flames sputter away. The sword is complete.
Тепер у Карлах є кльовий дворучник, що накладає німоту. Виключно заради профілактики я побився з гоблінами у селищі. Знову ж таки, вороги небезпеки не несли. Ні збаг, який змусив Лейзель застрягнути на драбині. Ні швидкий телепорт, ні перехід до лагеря діло не вирішив. Довелося знову перезавантажуватися. Дякую, Ларіани. Троль, твоя віддавати моя блискучий обруч. Він підвищує інтелект до пристойних значень. Але, проявляючи слабкий інтелект вже мене як гравця, я забув його спорядити. Ніби лицар у відсутніх обладунках, жага монах йому не потрібно, я вирушаю рятувати Мейріну від Тітоньки Етель.
I don't want a crumb left on that plate, girl.
Auntie Ethel, please. One more bite and this pie is gonna come back up to say hello.
Don't make me get the wooden spoon. You're eating for two, so get to it. Oh, if it isn't my hero. You took ages. Come in, come in. Feel free to relax yourself and have a cuppa. God's grant me patience. Eat up, Mayrina. I won't say it again.
У тебе цікава домівка.
Beautiful, isn't it? It's my little refuge for the lost and hopeless. People in dire need travel from all over Faerun to see little old me. And I do my damnedest to help them. And you, Petal, well, you need a lot of help. That wriggler swimming in your brain juice is a bit of an inconvenience, isn't it?
Щось тут не так. Чому та жінка з тобою?
Busybodies are not appreciated around here.
Must you stick out your neck for every dimwit in distress?
I'll talk about your wriggler, and that's it. Last warning.
Ні, ця жінка явно в біді.
You so badly. Fine. Let's make this interesting.
Спочатку в нокаут червоношапок, що їй допомагають, після невільників. Боги. Кричать так, ніби їх вбивають. На жаль, якщо зняти їх маски, вони одразу помирають, тож залишаємо їх так. В обмін на те, щоб пощадити її і залишити їй Мейріну, вона може підвищити одну з моїх характеристик. Це непогана пропозиція, але темна жага навіть торгуватися не став. Він тут за Мейріною. Втім, не так сталося, як гадалося.
You bastard! You ruined it! You ruined everything!
Прости мені, я хотів допомогти.
By making everything worse? Ethel was going to bring my husband back. Back from the dead. And now I'll never see him again. Because of you!
Через тітоньку Етель ти ледь не вмерла?
I was fine! She wouldn't have killed me. I had something she wanted. Just a bit longer and my child would have been born. And all this would have been over.
Коли маєш справу з ягою, то кінця не буває.
This was the best chance I had. For me and my baby. Auntie Ethel promised to give this child a good life. Teach them magic even. More than I could have done.
Це таке тобі Етель казала?
She said I'd make a bad mother. I think she was right. Now I'll have to drag Connor's coffin all the way home. It's the only way this child will ever meet their father. I hope you're happy.
Темна жага зібрав з лігва Етель репарації, так би мовити, після чого доєднався до Мейріни на вулиці.
Gods, didn't hear you coming. I know I should head home, but I can't bring myself to leave. The thought of putting him in a wheelbarrow and making the journey all over again. We were just kids when we met. I might have pushed him off a swing I wanted. He got right up and pushed me back. I was so surprised that I just laughed. He did too. We've barely spent a day apart since.
Мені трапилася паличка. Гадаю, я зможу воскресити твого чоловіка.
What? You can?
You feel a surge of power from the wand. The air suddenly tastes acrid. It wants to be used.
Bring him back! Bring Connor back! Please! What? What's happening? Why is he still dead?
You feel something pull at you. The creature yearns for a master.
What have you done to him?
Яга все ж виконала обіцянку, але не так сталося, як гадалося.
But this isn't what she promised! I wanted him back the way he was, not this!
Завжди можна його перепоховати.
No! Don't put him in the ground! He is afraid of the dark. I'll do it. I'll take him.
Мені шкода, що все так вийшло.
No, it is my fault, and I'm gonna fix it. Maybe someone in Baldur's Gate can help us. Connor always said you can find anything in that city. I'll figure something out. Come on, love. Let's go.
Tonight, you can't chase the thoughts of that poor girl you killed from your head. You wonder what she looked like as she died. Squirming, skewered in abject agony. Body barely complies. You feel such rushes from your thoughts of the dead woman. Why did she die? The mystery gnaws at your pounding heart.
Me lord, jubilant day! I have found your vile self at last! Skeleritas Fel! Your loyal and ever-adoring butler. I followed you, my dear rotted master. We have been parted so tragically long.
Мені голова болить. Дуже болить. Ти знаєш про це?
Oh, I had heard of my lord's indisposition, but I'd hoped the rumors were untrue. No matter. We will get you back to committing 5 villainous acts before breakfast in no time. I found you following the stench of that bard. She reeked across the coast like a piece of dog muck on the road.
Я не вбивав її. Це сталося, поки я спав.
Yes, my lord has always had some spontaneous little outbursts of joy. Anyways, I come once again bearing a part of your dreadful inheritance. You earned this iniquitous prize through your great show of exceptional violence the other night. I'm sure Master will be better soon. A fellow of your fine breeding is never down for long. I cannot wait until your next act of shameless barbarity.
Не буде більше ніякого варварства.
Death wants everything to do with you, good villain. Be true to yourself, my lord.
Не бажаючи мати нічого спільного з вбивствами, зранку темна жага спробував спалити нещасний плащ. Не горить. Потім жбурнути у воду. Прибіжав дрябко і повернув назад. Гарний хлопчик. Зрештою, темна жага його просто продав. Перемогти ведмесича та матріарха спудерменів мені допоміг старий, добрий перекач. Але от з дверґарами доведеться попрацювати. Сутичку на човні я пройшов мирно, тому що вони можуть скидувати мене до моєї смерті з човна, а я їх ні.
Sideways. We've got a welcoming party.
You shithead! Time you showed up, we got trouble.
Spit it out! Sergeant finally choked on true soul Near's prick.
Rudno! The twat soul caused a rockfall. trapped tighter than a ring on a fat finger.
You're shitting me. You pay up?
That's the trouble. He's got the gold on him. Sergeant's arm is falling off with all the gnome slaves she's been beating.
Спершу був запацифізджений дверґар з волами. Далі я тактикульно забився у вугол, наклав пітьму і став чекати, поки решта дверґарів прибіжить для рукопашного бою. Частково це спрацювало, декого з дверґарів я приголомшив. Після цього, в якийсь момент, вони вирішили, що більше не хочуть битися і просто пішли. Ну що, мені ж краще. Я відхилився і пішов відпацифізджувати далі. А ще один супротивник забіжав у камінь, і я не міг до нього дістатися. Данке, Ларіани! Напівживі команда темної жаги пішли отримувати квестового димного пороху. Довго відпочивати не можна, адже дверґари прокинуться і будуть дуже незадоволені.
Time to rest.
Hold it! I swear to Iron Hand. One more step and a blow us to chunks.
An ashen scent fills the air. The barrel is filled with smoke powder.
Hells, whatever you do, don't set her off.
Shut your mouth, or I'll shut you down.
What's next, I wonder?
Baldur, can you hear me? Baldur!
Завал підірвано, і щоб не активувати катсцену, де Нір скидає у леву одну з гномів, я одразу нападаю. На жаль, після першого удару, та, що повинна була померти, просто зникає, і далі гра все одно вважає її мертвою. Попри те, що усі дверґари валяються у відключці разом з Ніром, глибинні гноми все одно не хочуть тікати, а той, що я визволив з-під завалу, спонукає мене вбити Ніра. Ну ні, друже, брудни руки сам. Успішно запозичені у Ніра чоботи маревного кроку доставляють мене до Адамантової кузні. Мої діла з дверґарами закінчені, тому можна відпочити. Лейзель якраз є що сказати.
Ever since we shared each other's flesh, I've caught you looking at me with lidded eyes. And either like a coward or a fool, you tremble. Perhaps the parasite has weakened you. Or perhaps you still long for my taste.
Я дійсно сподіваюся, що ми знову проведемо ніч разом.
I never promised more than a night, though I can't deny the lure of your taste. Sweet, yes, but also bitter as ginger. Tempt me.
Що більше досвіду ти маєш з партнером, то кращий секс.
Like the shield bearer and pikeman must train to march their formation in tandem. Very well. I will claim you once you have taken to rest.
Чекатиму з великим нетерпінням.
Enough. I have given you my word. Do not be late.
Leyzel appears at your bunk, her eyes raging with desire. You suspect you won't be getting much sleep tonight.
На босфайт зі сторожем кузні я взяв Віла та Гейла, тому що вони обидва мали маревний крок. Тактика досить проста: поставити їх обох в різних кінцях кузні, далекобійними атаками агрити стража на себе, і коли він буде підходити до середини, тицяти або стріляти у важіль молота. На щастя, хітбокси молота дуже щедрі. Ще я допоміг нещасному дворфу вийти з пастки грибів.
Stop! Stop! People dying!
Don't waste a step.
On my mind, and well, in it.
Careful! My back! Please! Yes! That's it!
Він шукав тут гриб, який відновлює втрачену пам'ять, а такому як темна жага, він самому дуже знадобиться. Недовго думаючи, напіворк ковтає гриб.
As you choke down the acrid mushroom, a memory embraces your unlovable carcass. You see a grand collection. Shelves of jarred, floating, pickled organs neatly labeled. Taxidermied beasts and men, elegantly displayed from your killings. A study no doubt arranged neatly by your gentleman's gentle goblin. As you and your butler perform a vivisection, Skeleritas's claws slips, calipers cutting the aorta of the living, screaming victim. This is not your first time unraveling a long intestine left-handed, but each time you swear up a storm, hoping it will be your last. As the memory begins to clear away, one thing is certain. The butler lies not about his past service.
Йдучи до покинутої магічної башні, Віл застряг і відмовлявся стрибати далі. На щастя, перезавантаження було недалеко. Палдія, Сларіани. Проходячи крізь башню, я випадково тицнув на Гейла і натрапив на цікавий діалог.
Word of advice. Wizards' towers can be volatile places. They keep their secrets buried and their dangers close to the surface. One misplaced spell and you might find yourself thrown into limbo, fighting off a death slard with a very nasty temper. I'm sure whatever's on your mind poses no such risk, but caution is to be advised. Now, what can I do for you?
Це дуже конкретне попередження. З власного досвіду можу припустити.
Ah, quite. A misadventure from my days as an apprentice at Blackstaff Academy. I was but a child, only a few months into my studies, but already I knew I was destined for greatness. No one believed me, of course. So I decided to prove it, to cast a spell with the Blackstaff itself. From one perspective, I succeeded. I opened a portal. However, instead of pointing it at the first-year dormitory, I found myself pulled into limbo, facing a very irritated death slab. Fortunately, the Blackstaff himself came to the rescue, hauling me back from the brink and straight into several months of writing lines, or rather, finessing my autograph. Now, much as I enjoy reminiscing about such tomfoolery, I believe we've more pressing matters at hand. Is there anything else?
Дякую за пораду, Янголе Гейл. Тут ми знайшли гравійований диск «ґітьянкі», текст якого дуже занепокоїв Лейзель.
The disc appears in your mind's eye. Leyzel sees it too and considers the vision.
Tissue markings. Ancient. I recognize them, but I can't make sense. No. Wait. The texts are enciphered, but I've solved the pattern. It's a story. About Orpheus.
Your head buzzes in concert with Leyzel's, but it hardly matters. Even without the connection, you'd recognize her discomfort.
Хто такий Орфей?
A traitor. A dead one. This text is heresy. I can hardly bear to read it, let alone speak it.
Розумію. Можеш не розповідати.
It is for the best.
Прочитавши деякі книжки у башні, можна уникнути боя з роботом Бернардом на останньому поверсі. Ще тут є прикольний стілець, який збільшує силу до 21, доки ти на ньому сидиш. Я хотів забрати його до лагеря, жарту заради, але взяти його в інвентар не можна. Що ж, якщо розбити, то вийде прикольна довбня. Далі темна жага знайшов другий шматок руди для кузні, і тепер потрібно було знайти форму для щита. Важку броню ви вже могли бачити на Лейзель, а щит він віддасть тінесерді. Трохи застелсивши біля дверґарів, що прокинулися, за допомогою маревного кроку, як я обожнюю цей спел, форма для щита була отримана. А отут найрозумніший член загону вирішив скупатися в лаві. Молодца, Гейл. На цьому подорож у підмороку я обрав завершити і пішов хапати досвід ще на гірський перевал.
Wait. These markings. Tirsu script scratched in the ground. A Kresh must be nested in the temple below. We must go there at once.
Ходімо до Крешу.
Very well. You may lead. But if we stray too far that our chance is lost, I'll make my way there alone.
Yes? Who goes there? A friendly face. Oh, you are a sweet, sweet blessing, my dear. You know, I've had nothing but trouble all day. I've been accosted, chased, insulted. Look over there. Do you see that wretched little hive?
Я бачу, що комусь потрібно придбати SSD, панночко. Але не будемо про це. Пані Естер було доручено отримати яйця ґітьянкі. За невдалою спробою його купити, вона тепер просить темну жагу буквально викрасти дитину. Трохи заспойлерю, якщо так зробити, нічого гарного не вийде. Принаймні з нею можна поторгувати і отримати прекрасні рукавички для монаха. Двоє найсильніших членів гурту не зусилили підняти кабінку канатної дороги, а Тінесерда з натуральною 20-кою змогла. ДНД у всій його красі. Як ви могли помітити, я нарешті згадав про обруч на інтелект. Тепер темна жага перетворився з цього мема з 8-кою інтелекта на цей з 17-кою.
That's enough. On your feet.
Where are you taking us?
If this is about that weapon your friend was talking about, we don't have it and we don't know shit about it.
Silence! Move!
No. No, I'm not going in there. I won't.
Anyone want to join her? As I thought. Through the doors. Now! The captain is expecting you.
Forward, carefully. These cultists have the Creš on high alert.
Хоч і з незадоволеними пиками, але нас пропустили всередину завдяки Лейзель.
Stand down, Gish. Is it not Vlaakith's command to welcome her faithful?
Vertical incision from pineal eye to end of notochord. Intestinal coloration consistent with samples 231 to 259. Do you have a question? Or are you just going to stand there gawking?
I am a child of Gith, not discarded rat flesh. Am I not due your respect?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Let the istic with you speak. And I will decide what respect you're owed.
У мене пуголовок, якого треба видалити. Можеш допомогти?
You must be desperate to seek my aid. Tell me, how long have you been infected?
Довше, ніж потрібно для цереморфозу. І без жодних симптомів.
Fascinating. So you're conscious of your infection, but showing no signs of cerebral impairment. Either your tadpole is special, or you are. We must find out which. Go to the Sathisk. I will ensure you're cured.
Дякую тобі.
Your gratitude is unnecessary. The procedure brings its own rewards. Even ґітьянкі rarely experiences Sathisk. You are very lucky, Istik.
The device is strange, made of taut flesh and pockmarked metal. It waits for something.
The Sathisk. Vlaakith's purity distilled. My duty. My right.
Уперед, Лейзель. Ти це заслужила.
Praise Vlaakith. Let it be done.
Sit, child. Let the Sathisk end your suffering.
Тут мені слід сказати, що цей зейтиск не виліковує, а калічить персонажа, якщо тільки не пройти відповідні скіл-чеки. І навіть мені, богу сейфскама, влом перезавантажуватися, щоб пройти їх усі. Тому я обрав пройти один останній, який мав би знижати статуру. Для Лейзель це найбільш важливий показник, ніж решта. Ну буде вона тепер бігати зі зменшеною мудрістю та інтелектом. Не те, щоб там було багато чого втрачати.
The many planes of existence stretch before you, then coalesce. You are gifted. You are cursed.
Enough!
Damn it all! The parasite. I still feel it. I am ґітьянкі. I will not be gay.
My life's work gone.
And yet she lives. And so does her parasite.
Her voice cuts with a fanatical edge, an obsession bordering on mania. If there's a chance the parasite lives, she wants it.
Ти помиляєшся? Поглянь на її очі. Паразит мертвий.
Really? Then all this destruction was a symptom of its power? Incredible. I am disappointed that we could not extract it alive. It would have been an exceptional specimen. In any case, the problem is resolved. Leave me. I must salvage what I can.
No!
Incredible.
Your parasite is even stronger now.
Тихіше, Лейзель, давай не тут.
I followed protocol. I kept to my faith. Yet the Zaithisk might have killed me. Someone must have tampered with it. An aberrance I can't begin to comprehend.
Хто міг пошкодити пристрій?
There must be a Sharlak in this Kreš. A traitor. The sort that is hunted, slaughtered, and erased from our histories. Few would dare dishonor their queen. Fewer still would be so brazen. Now hurry. We must go to the Tarai and inform him of the Zaithisk's tampering.
Але повідомляти я піду не про нібито зрадника, а про артефакт, який усі так р'яно шукають. По дорозі Віл заморалфажив учителя гітів, який вже хотів вбити одного зі своїх учнів.
Gakojahи! We are training to fight Gake. You think they will hesitate? They won't need to if we keep killing each other for them. It's stupid. Silence! It seems your childish prattling is attracting an audience. You fight again. This time, daggers only. And to the death, as instructed. Who wants to challenge this sniveling Istark? I suppose your inane spewings have distracted enough from my lesson. Go at the swords. I want them sharp enough to peel a Gake's eyeball just by looking at them. I hope you prove as weak as this should we meet on the battlefield, Istik.
Please, Chitrai, I can explain. The latest batch of cultists knew nothing of the astral prism. They were just trying to find Moonrise. They all head there. My Gish have drafted plans to assault the tower. They are ready to fight, Chitrai. We could sift the missing artifact from the tower's ashes if you would give us...
Quiet. Find the astral prism, Therazin. My patience falters.
Yes, Chitrai. You heard him! Go!
Do as she says. She remains your Kithrak. For now.
An Istik in my Kreš. You are one of the mercenaries sent to bring the weapon. The Istik is with me, honored Kithrak. So noted. But my question goes unanswered. Do you bring the weapon?
Don't tell her anything.
I sincerely hope you know what you're doing.
Shema Zalavlakith. Give it to me!
No. No!
Yes. There it is. Exactly as described. The Inquisition will finally come to an end. Trickery? Heresy? How did you... You manipulate it when I cannot? It appears you have been chosen, Istik. You are lucky. It is not for me to question why. Go, seek the Inquisitor below, and take the cursed thing with you.
Our esteemed guest. My Arden spoke of one of our kin that escaped a crashing Gake slave vessel.
Right. Vlaakith's justice in flesh.
You have accomplished much, child. I am pleased to finally meet you. I heard there is so much goblin blood on your hands that it soaks their children's nightmares.
Погано чув гід. Темна жага їх тільки поколотив.
To business. I suspect you plucked something precious from the Gake ship. Something that belongs to us. The weapon. Give it to me.
Don't do it. The weapon is how I protect you. Do it. Do not disobey the Inquisitor. No.
So it is found.
Vlaakith Gorg Skathzai.
My queen. Skathzai.
You are permitted to look upon me. You are invited to kneel.
The deathless queen has spoken. You will obey.
These attendants you keep, you taught them well, my child, my Leyzell.
Chma Zala Vlaakith. You know me.
Erlon of Kalir speaks most highly, as did Alchaya before him. You seek purity. I may yet grant it. Istik, you bear that which is ours. But are you friend, or are you thief?
Не я забрав у тебе зброю, але я її тобі повертаю.
An unexpected servant. Your will is strong. Your kind will go far for glory, as you have shown by being here. Extend your fealty one step further, and you will be rewarded beyond your mortal reckoning. That weapon you carry, the astral prism, it is corrupted.
I will cleanse it for you, my queen. Tell me how.
There is someone inside. Their mind is warped, broken, a blight. They are an agent of the grand design, sent to sabotage the astral prism. Our last defense against the return of the Illithid Empire. As long as they live, the prism is compromised. Kill them! Do this, and I will cleanse you and your allies. Do this, and ascend!
Ascension. My queen. An honor gained. A burden borne. You must accept. Refuse, and you will know my fury. Refuse, and you will know my fury.
Я зроблю, як ти просиш.
Use the Planecaster's power to enter the artifact. Be wary of the creature's lying tongue. Cut it out if you must. Wargas, they are not to leave until it is done.
As you say, my queen.
Shma Zala Vlaakith. We will not waste a second.
Heat pulses out of the astral prison as it begins to flower. Your mind burns hot with excitement. head compressed in a fold. A pocket of astral plane. Boundless. Timeless. Like every dream that ever was stitched together. It is home.
I may have made a mistake trusting you. I told you to stay away from the ģітьянкі, but you just couldn't help yourself. Could you? And now, you've come here to murder me.
Влаакіт сказала, що ти служиш великому задуму Ілітидів.
I told you I stole the artifact from someone. Well, I stole it from Vlaakith. Since then, she has become desperate. Vlaakith wants me dead because I know her secret. It is a secret so great that if her people ever found out, that would be the end of her rule, the end of her. That same secret is how I've been protecting you from the Absolute. I can hear your thoughts. You think I'm lying. Vlaakith warned you that I would try to deceive you. But consider this. What reason have I to deceive you? I want the same thing as you. Freedom. I'm on your side. I have been since the very beginning.
Вставай. Сьогодні ти не помреш.
It seems I was right to put my faith in you after all. Thank you. Vlaakith will be furious to make no mention of your ģітьянкі companion. The Lich Queen fears nothing more than the loss of her empire. The knowledge I have of her deception will bring that about.
Який обман?
Vlaakith is lying to the ģітьянкі. They believe she knows how their beloved mother Gith defeated the Mind Flayer Empire. But she does not. If the Illithids would ever rise to power again, she would be incapable of stopping them. And if her people found out about her impotence, there would be mutiny, revolution, the end of her rule. But that very power, the power to resist Illithid control, which Vlaakith only pretends to know, is how I've been protecting you. I suppose she hoped to extract it from my corpse. Since you spared me that fate, she will come for you.
Що це за сила?
A logical question. But you're not ready for the answer.
Та йопт.
I have delayed long enough. The next attack is overdue, and I can't risk you being caught in the middle of it. I need you out there, searching for the Absolute. You were on the right path, to Moonrise Towers. Return to it. Be warned, the Inquisitor awaits your return from this place with orders to kill you. No doubt the rest of the Crèche will join him. Good luck.
Speak. Have you killed my queen's enemy?
Я не збирався їх убивати. Вони захищають нас від Абсолют.
Blasphemy! She warned you not to trust the one inside.
Your mind tingles. Leyzell seeks entrance. Your thoughts become one. She sees the truth of your confrontation in an instant.
Vlaakith Tafkinazin. I see only madness. Vlaakith bears the full might of Tunarath's arms and the covenant of the great Mother Gith. We must go to the Try. He will summon Vlaakith. She must know of this apostate.
Leyzell, I've been waiting. You are named Hashalak. Bend your head, for my blade is ready.
Try, please, summon Vlaakith. There's much...
Irrelevant, geik wretch. The Queen has spoken. Your death is decreed.
You realize what Leyzell doesn't. Whatever the outcome of your visit to the astral prism, Vlaakith had no intention of letting either of you live.
Crush Yillik with me to the death.
A little help, please.
Я оцінюю складність боїв по кількості сейвскаму, який мені доводиться робити. Цей бій, завдяки моєму перекачу, сейвскамити не довелося. Але Лейзель в кінці бою довелося не солодко.
Vlaakith! I have wielded your fury as a blade, roared your wrath as a dragon. You promised ascension. Yet I crawl among my own people, low as an asp's belly. Skageth! I followed your path. What good? This heart of stone, for it to be shattered. She tests me. A trial of faith. Kalir prepared me. Only the heaviest souls soar to the astral. Yes. Yes. I might gain Vlaakith's favor yet.
Дивовижний прояв віри. Але чи вистачить його твоїй королеві?
Silence! I must think.
Репарації з переможених гітів зібрані разом із зіллям янгольської дрімоти. Дає ефект довгого відпочинку після 2 раундів сна. Дуже корисна річ в ендгеймі. Ще, якщо розвернути статуї отаким чином, відкриється секретний прохід. Там, повз пастки та заслони, можна знайти легендарну булаву – кров Латандера.
Ornate mace hovers before you, suspended in a shaft of brilliant light. A fist-sized piece of amber flecked with crimson is set in the handle, emitting a radiance all its own. All within these walls are doomed to destruction unless you act.
Якщо втекти замість того, щоб ламати кристали живлення, Лейзель піде з гурту. Цього нам не треба, тому з допомогою зілля поспіху Віл влегко ламає 2 з 4 кристалів. Решта добиває другу половину. Але як тільки це було зроблено, темна жага закосплеїв оцей мем і тупо зник. Телепортнувся відпочивати у глибоководді, не інакше. Кумавойо, Ларіани. Цього нам не треба, тому за допомогою зілля поспіху Віл ламає 2 з 4 кристалів, решта добиває другу половину. Я ще трошки повештався по монастирю, збираючи досвід, після чого вирішив, що досить манчкінізму, можна йти далі. Після бою з невмерлими на шляху трапився дивакуватий старий.
Who there, wanderer? Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
May I inquire if perchance you retain among your traveling companions
A man who adheres to the given name of Gale.
Чи можу я запитатися, хто запитується?
Should it be the nature of our acquaintance that interests you, well, you may safely classify Gale and I as friends. Should it be the nature of your present interlocutor that you desire to drag from the dark and unknown, I shall be glad to aid in your quest for illumination and identify myself as Elminster. Elminster Ormar. Now, if this answer satisfies you, let us linger no longer in this limbo of indecision, but settle on your knowledge of the individual I seek.
Так, я знаю Гейла. Наразі він у таборі.
Ever a man of leisure. Would it pain you greatly to assist me along the little voyage I intend to undertake to this aforementioned camp?
Із задоволенням.
And I would confirm it to be so. Please, after you. My thanks for your excellent guidance. And yonder I spy the object of my pursuit.
Elminster?
The very same, Gale. And a fair bit miffed he is, too, finding himself forced to expose his best pair of boots to so many miles of country road on your behalf.
I don't understand. How so on my behalf?
I was bid to spare neither time nor my own self to find you. She sent me, Gale. You know of whom I speak.
But why? Out with it, Elminster. Please.
Young man, has your sojourn away from Waterdeep washed away your decorum as well as your patience? Nigh a 10-day I've gone without honest fare, worthy of the name, drank naught but what the sky entitled my thirst. Why, some bread, cheese, and a cup of wine would appear unto me a feast. Surely you won't begrudge me a mite of rest and repast before I get out with it.
Гадаю, ми можемо поділитися припасами.
And a great kindness that would be. See, Gale, even in these barren parts, the art of hospitality begets inspired new works, if only one keeps up the practice.
Oh, for the love of...
Fine, fine. I'll turn a deaf ear to the clarion calls with which my scorned stomach beseeches me. Graver matters are at hand. Plenty to digest, after all. A good deal to stew over, if you will. Words ladled with import should be savored so as to better absorb their meaning. Wouldn't you agree?
Elminster!
Right. You see, that is to say, Gale, my boy, I've come to address a most pressing matter. I'll speak as plainly as I can, forswearing the accustomed frills that decorate my speech. I'm here on behalf of Mistra. The message and the charge I bring you are hers.
Тебе справді відправили сюди як божественного посланця?
Oh, Mistra's delicate feet are ill-suited for the hardships of the road.
You know where you went wrong, Gale. No, we needn't dwell on that here and now. But even so, you're to be given a chance of redemption.
Mistra would consider forgiveness.
She would consider what she considers to be forgiveness. Mistra is aware of the misadventures that have befallen you both. She knows of your strife with the Absolute, that most insidious of evils.
Якщо навіть боги знають, чому ми протистоїмо цій загрозі самі?
They choose the instruments of their will with great precision. Sometimes the single drops we think we are do not realize what waves we are building up to be. Do not discount yourself, and by the same token, do not discount your enemy. You must know that the Absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It threatens all who live, even those who are undying. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself. That is why I have come here to charge you, Gale, with its destruction. It is Mistra's belief that only you can.
Містра помиляється. Це я знищу Абсолют.
I doubt not your conviction, but Gale has an unnatural advantage.
The All.
Precisely. Mistra has granted me the power to stop the clock, as it were, on the orb's rush to overpower you. Instead, you will be able to unleash its lethal combustion at will.
Interesting. This could be help or hindrance. We shall have to see.
You must find the heart of the Absolute, whatever that may be, and use yourself as the catalyst that will burn it from this world.
Це жахливо? Ти доручаєш йому вбити себе?
He is not. But it seems that Mistra is.
It brings me no pleasure saying this, my friend, but such is Mistra's will. Yours must be the sacrifice that will undo the Absolute. And for your sacrifice, you will be redeemed. Such is Mistra's promise. With that, I've said my sorry piece, and need only bestow unto thee the charm I was bid. Idelion Thras Annas It is done. Both charge and charm have been committed into your care. To you, I commit into care Gale himself, and I count on you to shepherd him well on this strangest of journeys.
Попереду ще довгий шлях. Ми знайдемо інший спосіб.
Or some other fortune altogether.
Like moons make swell and wane the nescient seas, so too the sky-strewn gods ordain the tidal fates of mortal days. And yet, an ocean born in lonely hours, come ebb, come flow, come all that is beyond the breadth of our dominion. Be a moon unto yourself. Even the waves of fate can break upon the shores of will. Farewell, my friend.
Farewell, Elminster. I'm glad she chose you. An audience with Elminster is never less than memorable. I'd have hoped to introduce you to him in less dire circumstances. But those are hard to come by these days.
Такий собі з нього друг. З'явився і вимагав, аби ти себе вбив.
It's not a demand he wanted to make of me. As Mistress chosen, he had no choice but to deliver her message, however much it pained him to do so. For Mistra to have sent him, the severity of her bidding could not be clearer, or weigh more heavily on me. Time seems so infinite when you're young. A month is an age. A year is a lifetime. It is a strange feeling.
to realize how little of it one might have left.
Ти справді думаєш зробити те, про що казав Елмінстер?
Of course. We offer the clearest solution to our problem. All I have to do is find the right place and time, close my eyes, and let go. Then the slate will be clean. Wrongs will be righted, the absolute will be gone, and I along with it.
Що б ти не мав зробити, я буду поруч і допоможу.
I had no doubt I could rely on you. That remains ahead of us for now. The heart of the absolute must be discovered before I can stop its beating.
Ми обов'язково знайдемо його, Гейле. Обіцяю.
Then I suppose there is nothing more to be done but find the heart of the absolute and stop its beating.
Elminster. Even the ģītьянкі have heard tell of the Sage of Shadowdale. Some of his works have been translated to Tirsu. That doesn't mean his every word carries wisdom, however. Near as I can tell, Mystra demands Gale's faith, but holds no faith in him. Why else would she demand Gale sacrifice himself, and perhaps so many others? Does she not think he can destroy the Absolute with his own immense talents? Does she not know the mighty company that he keeps? Demanding Vlaakith may be, but she acts for the good of the ģītьянкі people. Mystra is concerned only for herself. Perhaps he'd find forgiveness in a fiery death. But I can't help but wonder why he'd want it at all.
На дорозі до проклятих пітьмою земель темну жагу раптово знайшов Кітрак Восс.
Supreme Kithrak, has Vlaakith sent you to slay me with your own blade?
I've not come to kill you, Leyzell. I've come to aid you.
Don't trust him.
Skakek Kier Gith Shabeleth. My blade rests. Mother Gith compels you to listen.
Speak. My ear is yours.
I know you carry the astral prism, Leyzell. Within it lies the seed of Vlaakith's demise, and I intend to help you bring it to fruition.
Vlaakith's demise? Skaketh. I should run you through for suggesting it.
Ти кажеш про особу всередині? Тобі відомо, хто це?
If they have not said, they must have good reason, and I won't be the one to betray them. But the one inside's chosen you as an ally, protects you with their power. That very power will be the end of Vlaakith's tyranny. The prism's tenant must be let loose. I've sought their freedom for eons. When the prism went missing, I feared the worst. Instead, you've granted the opportunity I've so long awaited. All that remains is the key that unchains them. And I've found someone who I believe can provide it. Bring the prism to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting in a taproom called Shares's Caress. That is where we decide the fate of my people. Leyzell, together we will break our chains and be Vlaakith's slaves no longer.
I am no slave, just still Kithrak. The Undying Queen is my freedom. It is she who will purify me, and she who will ascend me.
Lies, Leyzell, every last one. There is no purification, no ascension. The Zaith Isk does not purify, it extracts memory and kills the infected. Nor does the Lich Queen glorify the ascended. She feeds on most all of them to grow her power and pursue godhood.
Madness! You flood me with this heresy. I will hear no more of it.
Він каже правду про Зейтиск. Тобі слід вірити йому.
I served Vlaakith the whole of my life. Learned her words, fought her battles, yet she names me her Sherlock. Your words carry truth. I will meet you in Baldur's Gate. Do not make me regret it.
Leyzell, I see Talakma Gear in you, sister in freedom. Together we will be our people's light. Take this. It is a Quanith, a psionic detector. The Queen's warriors hunt you. The Quanith will sound you out when you come near their portals. Hear its cry and prepare for battle or slip away. I should go. Vlaakith's gaze pierces the seas and skies. She believes me loyal, and I can't afford her mistrust. Keep the astral prism close. Let no one take it from you. Slay any who try. Now to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting, Leyzell.
Vlaakith Kosivim Hrath Crashet. Only in Vlaakith may we find light. These were the first words I ever read on Tirsu slate, but they are no mere aphorism. They are law. They are creed, the root from which the 10,000 protocols stem. Forsake one protocol and forsake Vlaakith. Forsake Vlaakith and be the blood and meat which sates her dragons. If Voss speaks true, if ascension is a lie, if tadpole purification is a fairy tale, then I have not sinned against Vlaakith. She has sinned against me.
У чому, власне, суть звищення?
Ascension is a young ґітьянкі's greatest honor. Long ago, the Geich enslaved my people. They dominated our minds and bred us for war, until Great Mother Gith took a hammer to our bonds. From the day of our hatching, young Gith have one purpose: to train hard enough to slay a Geich and take its head. Then, we speak the rite of ascension, and a red dragon comes to fly us to Vlaakith in Tunarath, City of Death. We are honored with an eternal home in the astral, celebrated for our victory. We are ascended. Or so I believed.
Хто, на твою думку, живе у призмі?
I don't know. I can't know. And that drives me mad. At first, I thought them an illithid deception, a trick of the tadpole. But the dream figure is real. It lives in the prism. Voss believes they are the seed of Vlaakith's demise and the agent of ґітьянкі freedom. And I believe he may be right.
Вос назвав Влаакіт тиранкою. Ти згодна з цим?
I'd never thought Vlaakith a tyrant or me as a vassal. She was the source of my might, and I the envoy of her will. A warrior, a champion, a destroyer. But if Voss is right, and Vlaakith consumes the Ascended to gain power, then I am no destroyer. I am mere livestock, bred to be harvested and devoured. Every ģітьянкі is a slave with a singular purpose. Not to cull the Geich, not to prevent their grand design, but to raise Vlaakith to true godhood.
А якщо Вос помиляється? Якщо його звинувачення фальшиві, а Влаакіт каже правду?
Then, when the Kithraki come for me, and come they will, I will submit to their blades. They would feed me to their dragons, and I would deserve no better.
Рушаємо далі.
Yes, I'd like time to think. We'll meet Kithrak Voss at Sheres's Caress in Baldur's Gate. Until then, be vigilant. Vlaakith's eyes are upon us. Can you feel it? The shadows gnaw at us. Do not take them for granted.
Are you the true soul?
Ми є усім і нічим водночас.
I'll take that as a yes. Listen up. Grab a torch, stay out of the dark, and move fast. Shadows have eyes. Go on.
І ось перед нами розкинулись обширні прокляті пітьмою землі. Ми вже зайшли далі, ніж половина гравців у стімі, але досліджати їх ми будемо вже в наступній серії. Дякую всім за перегляд, ставте вподобайки, підписуйтесь та долучайтесь до Діскорду. До побачення, доки зорі не зійдуться.